I hope you're doing well. We just want to take a few minutes here to answer, a few more questions from Tuesday night that we did not get to answer. Um, if you have any other questions outside of this, or if one of my answers sparks another question, feel free to email us. The first question I believe we covered the other night, but we wanted to make sure. How would I fill out college questionnaires if I haven't played varsity yet? And we apologize for the typos on here. We just copy and pasted directly from the emails. Um, I guess the easiest way to answer this is I would not worry too much about stats. College coaches in particular, don't care about stats of high school players, and the reason why is you don't know who's keeping the scorebook. You don't know the competition level they're playing. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So, one scorekeeper may say a ball that you hit was a hit instead of an error, which will raise your batting average and inflate it. So, they don't really look at that. What they're more interested in are your tools, your 60 time, your arm speed, your bat speed, those types of tangible things that they can look at and compare to their own players. So those are more important. If you have varsity stats, great, but if you don't, I wouldn't worry about it. How important is it to go to baseball camps? And I'm going to address both college showcases that are held by outside organizations and then the actual college camps themselves. Both are great opportunities to get in front of the college coaches. College showcases, usually you can get in front of anywhere from 10 to 30 college coaches in one day. They are more expensive, but again, you have to weigh the how many coaches am I going to get in front of. Going to a particular coach's camp, college camp, is great because it puts you on their campus. It usually puts you in front of all four of their coaches. And it shows that you are very interested in their school because you took the initiative to go to their camp. So, either way, this is not, camps aren't the only way you can find college scholarships, but they're a great way to get the process started and to begin building that relationship with the coaches. What is the criteria to play at the next level? It really depends on what level you're trying to play at, whether it be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, professionally. All those levels, the talent level, really fluctuates. I'll cover Division I level. Outside of Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, they're all a step under that. They could be just as good as Division I level players, but for the most part, they are ticks underneath that. So, I'll give you the Division I level, and then you can kind of, vary that, between the Division II all the way down to JUCO. Division I level for an infielder, the average arm speed, I would say that you need is 85 miles an hour. Running speed for an infielder is under 7 flat. 6/8's even better. Bat speed is 90 plus. For a catcher, bat speed 90 plus. A pop time around 1.9 in a showcase setting. Anything under 2 flat in game is good. And your arm speed is going to be 80. Is going to be the average goal to shoot for from behind the plate. And then your 60 time is not nearly as important for a catcher, but you still want to be able to not clog up the bases. So being under 7.3, 7.2 in that range is respectable. There are 7.4 guys that are playing Division I baseball. There's 7.5 guys, but obviously, the higher that number, the better. For outfielders, your center fielders are going to need to be, 6'5", 6'6" range. Generally, your outfielders are going to be sub 6'8". At your higher Division I levels. Obviously, your highest Division I levels, they'll all be 6'5", 6'6" guys, unless they can really hit. But anything under that 6'8" range for outfield is good. For left to right field, arm strength, you want to shoot for 90 miles an hour plus, bat speed 90 miles an hour plus. And like I said, all the levels underneath that, there's been guys that I've known that have played in NAIA baseball that, have run an 8 flat, that throw, 73 miles an hour, and they have a bat speed of 74 miles an hour. So, there are abilities to play at that level without the talent, So you just kind of have to see where your talent level is and shoot for, obviously, the numbers I gave are minimums. Obviously, as a shortstop, can you throw 82 and play Division I baseball? Absolutely. 85 is kind of a guideline of here's my goal. I want to get as high over that number as possible. How do I know what level I can play at? Division I, Division II, Division III. Look directly at your numbers. Your numbers are very, very telling of the level that you can play at. For a hitter, I always say 90 miles an hour is kind of that bare minimum to play Division I baseball. If you hit off a tee and your exit velocity is 82, you're probably not going to have enough bat speed and generate enough power to be able to hit Division I level pitching consistently. When I was at West Virginia, almost all of our starting lineup was 97, 98 plus, all the way up to, we had Vince Belnoma, who's in AAA, that 103 miles an hour, and Jed Jurko, who hit 23 home runs in the big leagues his rookie year. He's 104 miles an hour. So, again, that's kind of a baseline, but you have to look at yourself and say, okay, these are my tools. This is probably a level I can play at. If you want to play Division I or pro ball, shoot for those higher numbers. How did you determine where a coach has you ranked on his whiteboard? There's no real way to determine this. What I would say would be, the frequency of the conversations. Have you been on an official visit? If you're too young, have you been on an unofficial visit? Have they offered you? Until you get an offer, you really don't know where you stand. Once you get that offer, then you know that, okay, we're serious. And if you've been offered an official visit, they're serious, because each school has an allotted number of official visits that they can bring kids on. So if they're giving you that official visit, it means you're in their top 25 players. So the official visit and scholarship offer are the two main items to go off of. Outside of that, are they calling you regularly once a week? Are they emailing you? You have that good rapport with them. So that goes on a case by case basis. We'll scroll down here. We have, looks like 5 more questions here. Nope, I'm sorry, 3 more questions here. The first one: how to get the attention of Division I schools. Obviously, you have to have the talent. Your tools have to meet what they're looking for. Your consistency level has to be there every time they see you play. You have to have what they're looking for. If you're great one day and bad the other, it's a little bit tougher. Outside of that, your body language, the way you carry yourself on the field, is absolutely huge. When they come see you, they shouldn't know whether you're 0 for 3 or 3 for 3, because you're always carrying yourself with that confidence, and you're always sprinting on and off the field. Outside of that, initially send the coaches an email introducing yourself. Make it very personalized. Tell them why you're interested in the school. Tell them your tools. Tell them where you're going to play in the summer, the tournaments you're going to, and then give them some references of people to call: your summer coach, your high school coach, your guidance counselor, another teacher as a character witness for you. And then obviously they have to see you play. So going to their camp or making sure you're at a tournament like East Cobb where all the coaches are going to be. That's really the only way to get their attention. When a college offers admission for me to their college, how do I know 100% the baseball coach will ensure I have a roster spot to play after I committed to that school? Well, admissions and the baseball team are two completely separate things. You can be offered and you can be admitted to the school without ever talking to the baseball coach. So unless the baseball coach says, "Hey, I have a baseball scholarship for you," or "Hey, I want you to walk on, but you have a guaranteed roster spot," those are the only 2 ways that you know that you have a roster spot to play there. Outside of that, it's really every school has walk-on tryouts for random kids from the school that go and play. Very rarely will a kid make that without the coach knowing about that kid prior. Most of the time, it's either, the kids on the roster are either scholarship kids or invited walk-ons or preferred walk-ons or whatever you want to call it. But basically, the coach says, "Hey, we don't have any money, but we still want you to come to school, and you have a guaranteed roster spot." Remember, there's 27 kids per team that are allowed to have scholarships, and there's a 35-man roster. So 8 kids will be on the team without any scholarship. What's the probability of a left-handed pitcher throwing about low 80s to get to a Division I college? There's a lot of guys throwing low 80s that are playing Division I baseball right now. If you throw low 80s, you're going to need to have great command. You're going to have great movement, 3 pitches for a strike, and you're going to be able to have to locate all those pitches. But it's very possible, especially left-handers. Typically your left-handed pitcher is known to be crafty anyway. So there are a lot of low 80s guys playing Division I baseball. Again, obviously, the higher you can get that number, the more scholarship money and all that you can get. But it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility. If you're throwing low 80s from the left side to play Division I baseball, it's all about your location. Size helps. If you're 5'8", it's going to be a lot harder than if you're 6'3", throwing low 80s. Because if you're 6'3", they can project you to throw harder. Whereas if you're 5'8", it's going to be a little bit tougher. So that wraps up this session of Q&As. Again, if you have any other questions, please email us. Go on the website and sign up for the ABPAU, and we'll be able to get you on there and answer any questions that you do have. Again, we really appreciate your time and hope to hear from you soon.